They say the worst pain isn't what happens to your body, it's when the people who should love you most start treating your suffering like an inconvenience. 3 days before Thanksgiving, my phone buzzed. It was my mother. Daniel's bringing his boss to dinner. Please, don't talk about your situation. This is important for his career. My situation. She meant the disease that's been eating my kidneys for years, the tubes, the machines, the hours of sitting still while my blood ran through plastic veins. The thing that's been keeping me alive and killing me at the same time that I stared at that text for a long time. It's strange how a few words can erase your existence. Don't mention your situation. As if my illness was a bad habit. As if pretending I was healthy would make her proud that my brother Daniel, perfect Daniel, was a resident doctor at St. Luke's Hospital. He wore confidence like a lab coat. His smile was the kind that made people trust him. He was everything my parents wanted, ambitious, brilliant, the golden son who cured people for a living. And me? I was the sick one who worked from home, writing medical articles for doctors who never knew I existed. Every time I missed a family gathering, my father said, "Emma's always tired." My mother told people I was sensitive. Daniel liked to remind me that my illness was probably my fault. Maybe if you exercised more, maybe if you ate better. They spoke like health was a personality trait I had failed to develop, but that Thanksgiving, I decided to go anyway. Not to prove anything. Just because I still wanted to feel like part of a family. When I arrived, my mother opened the door, her eyes sweeping over me like I was a stain on her perfect day. "You look terrible," she whispered. "Try to smile. Daniel's boss is here." I almost laughed. My face was gray because my kidneys had stopped filtering poison from my blood. But sure, I'd smile. Inside, Daniel was the center of the world. His fiancée sat beside him, flawless and glowing. Across from them was a man I recognized from hospital newsletters, Dr. Richard Foster, the chief medical officer. Daniel introduced us, voice dripping with pride. "Emma, this is Dr. Foster. My sister's, a medical writer." I shook Dr. Foster's hand, and for a moment, I saw something real in his eyes, concern, maybe. The kind Daniel never had. Dinner looked like a feast from a magazine. Golden turkey, buttery potatoes, creamy casseroles. All of it, poison for me. Too much sodium, potassium, phosphorus, things that could stop my heart. So I didn't eat that. Why father frowned. "You're too thin. Eat something." "I can't," I said softly. "Kidney diet." "Oh right," my mother sighed. "You're picky about food now." "Picky." As if dying required good manners, Daniel chuckled. "Emma's always been dramatic about her health. It's not as bad as she makes it sound." Dr. Foster looked up. "Dramatic?" Daniel shrugged. "Dialysis is pretty routine these days." "Routine?" 4 hours, 3 times a week, watching your blood turn darker every minute. "Routine." Dr. Foster's voice went quiet. "Routine for who?" He told us his sister had died waiting for a kidney. The room went still, but Daniel didn't stop. "Emma exaggerates. She acts like she's dying." I whispered, "Because I am." Daniel leaned forward, his voice hard. "You just like the attention. You could help yourself if you tried harder. Lose weight. Be positive. But it's easier for you to be the victim." For a second, I couldn't breathe. Not because of the disease, because of him. My brother, the doctor, looking at me like my suffering was an inconvenience to his career. Then Dr. Foster stood up. His chair scraped against the floor. "Dr. Chin," he said sharply, "I'd like a word. Now." They disappeared into the kitchen. Through the doorway, I heard his voice, low, furious. "In what universe is kidney failure a choice? You told your dying sister she's being dramatic? My sister died on dialysis. You think this is routine?" Daniel mumbled something I couldn't hear. Then silence. When they came back, Daniel's face was pale. Dr. Foster looked at me gently. "Emma," he said, I'm sorry you've had to deal with this. What your brother said was unacceptable. Then he turned to Daniel. You will report to the medical board tomorrow morning. My parents froze. My mother whispered, please, not here. But it was already too late. Dr. Foster made a phone call right there, on speaker. Dr. Morrison, this is Richard Foster. I'm with one of our residents. You need to hear what he said to a dialysis patient. Daniel tried to interrupt. Dr. Foster didn't let him. By the time the call ended, Daniel's medical career was over, and I just sat there, shaking, hollow, and free for the first time in years. The story went public. Daniel lost everything, his job, his fiancée, his perfect image. My parents blamed me. You destroyed his life, my mother cried. No, I said. He destroyed his own when he decided my pain wasn't real. Months later, I got the call. A kidney was available. Not from family, they never offered, but from a stranger who didn't even know my name. Doctor Foster visited me after the transplant. How do you feel? He asked, and I smiled for real this time. Like I finally have a future. Now, when I speak at hospitals, I tell medical students one thing: believe your patients. Because my brother was a doctor who didn't, and if I'd listened to him, I'd be dead. And sometimes, when I look at the scar across my chest, I remember the night I realized something life-saving, that blood isn't what makes someone family. Empathy does.